Hello everyone, this is Dawn over at Plot Chronicles. Today I want to chat with you guys about 5 book endings, types of endings that I cannot stand. I'm going to get right into it. The first one is something that is confusing. And I don't like books that are confusing. And sometimes one of the things that I really don't like, and this isn't really about an ending, so I'm kind of going off on a tangent, is when you get halfway through the book, so you've already invested all this time, and then you all of a sudden get really bored. But I don't like when the book ending is confusing and I don't understand what is going on. One of the books that was like that everybody raved about, it has really, really good reviews, okay? And a lot of people absolutely love this book, but I did not, the book was confusing to me and I didn't understand the ending at all, was We Used to Live Here. It's considered a horror. I didn't really find it that scary myself. But it was We Used to Live Here. But that one, I mean, there's some books that I don't understand the ending. So if the ending is confusing, then I'm just like, wait, I feel really let down. Okay, the next one is number 2, and I've had this happen in quite a few books, in all different kind of books, when the ending is rushed. When all of a sudden you're like, wait, you're on the last 2 pages and nothing is resolved. And then in the last, paragraph, things are resolved all of a sudden. You know, I like a book that has a decent ending where, where it's not all rushed. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Okay, number 3, and I've had this happen a few times, where the ending almost happens in the middle of the book. And you're like, the whole conflict and the thing that you're wanting to know, that's like the mystery, and it doesn't have to be a thriller. I'm talking any kind of genre. It could be historical fiction, it could be romance, any kind of book, where the ending happens way before the end of the book. I've only had that happen a few times, but I'm just like, well, gosh, am I done reading the book already? What's the rest of the book going to be? And then the rest of the book's kind of fluff. I don't know, maybe they're probably trying to change it up, because think about something for a minute. Okay, there's more and more authors out there. People are like, oh, there's no original ideas. And then you see people out there writing books and they're like, oh, this author copied this author. It's probably challenging to come with brand new ideas all the time, right? Okay, so for number 4, books that have unresolved conflict or plot lines, where maybe, say there's 4 different storylines, okay? And you're like, oh, you want to know what happens to so-and-so. Have you guys ever watched a TV show or a movie, and maybe it's about, we'll say it's 4 different characters, and at the end, it kind of tells you, hey, where did each character, what happened to them in their life, and it moves them years ahead and say, well, Sarah and her family, this is what's happening with them, and you kind of get everything resolved and comes together at the end. When they leave kind of what I call plot lines open and not all your questions are answered, and you still have a lot of open-ended questions, unless it leads with a cliffhanger, and which I actually like those endings. I'm actually going to do a video about what kind of endings I like. Okay, and then I know this is a weird one and this doesn't happen that often, but when the character personality of somebody is a certain way at the beginning of the book, but then they're a totally different type of character at the end of the book. So they might be this horrible, mean person that's terrible, and then all of a sudden at the end of the book they turn out to be this really nice person, and it kind of doesn't make sense. For me, when I read a book, I'm all about the character development. I really like to get to know the characters. So these are endings I don't care for. I want to know in the comments below, what are some book endings that drive you mad? Before signing off, I'm doing my first shout out on this channel, and this channel deserves, and I'm going to start doing shout outs once a week. This channel deserves a lot more traffic because the content is excellent and you're going to love it, and I'm going to tell you why. It's called 1 Minute Book Review. I'm going to link the channel below. I'd appreciate if you let her know I shouted her out. The reason why is her videos, people have complimented me that most of my videos are 5 minutes or less, and most of the time, not on this channel as much, I don't ramble and go on and on and on, okay? I try not to. I still think that I can be a little rambly though, to be honest. Well, she's not rambly at all. She does actually 1 minute book reviews. And like I said, she deserves so many more views and so many more subscribers. I would appreciate if you would check her out. Actually, on my other channel, Sensible Living with Money Mom, I'm going to do a shout out to her because I would love to see her grow, because I think once she gets discovered, she's going to get a lot more views. Now, this is kind of off topic, but it's something to think about. There's a lot of YouTube channels out there, a lot of great ones. Some of them have been around for years, so they've already developed an audience. Well, because there's more and more competition on YouTube and all different types of content, there are a lot of excellent channels out there right now that aren't getting seen. And if I can help with that, I love to help a new YouTuber get seen. And this 1 minute book reviews definitely deserves it. She has a great manner and does a great job. So that's all I have to say, guys. Love you, appreciate you, and I hope to see you on tomorrow's video. Bye, everybody.